I'm sure our history and culture would bore you, Earth Clan.
Actually, I would like to know more about your history.
My people came to the Citadel shortly after the Asari and Salarians had discovered it. We were instrumental in establishing a standardized galactic economy. However, despite our long association with the Citadel and our many contributions to galactic society, we still do not hold a seat on the Council.
Now, this is all fascinating, but it also says a little bit, just a little bit, of how the Council operates. Because we've already seen the Council races, although we've actually, if you're paying attention to this from an in-universe perspective, from someone who's never played Mass Effect before, we only recognize one of the three races that was shown for the Council, because we talk about Turian several times during the intro. But we have no idea what a Salarian is, and we have no idea what an Asari is. In fact, we haven't even heard those words yet. So, I bring this up because even with this relative lack of information, we can already start to glean a little bit on how the Council operates. I'm trying to think of the term. There's actually a real-life political ideology that follows this concept. And it boils down to, we try to maintain a degree of superiority over the other states and the other nations in order to ensure a degree of shared sovereignty. Make of that what you will. I'm not saying that's good, bad, or in between. That's best left for Halloween. So, you can see how that particular group is all... Again, between these two things we've already seen, that particular group is already maintaining itself as kind of this separate and distinct force and staying on top of the races that exist within Council space.
Hello there, human. Sincere apology, but I am here on business and cannot be distracted right now.
Wait. Do you hear that? It's the sound of a BioWare side quest!
You seem distressed. Is there something I can do to help?
I cannot speak more about this problem. It is too sensitive. Suffice it to say, she has compromised my authority as a diplomat.
Translation. They were having tons and tons of sex. I want you to picture that now, an Elcor having sex with us. Just picture it. Picture it. There you go. Now that I've destroyed your morning... Okay, we actually have a map. It's a map. That's what I'm going to describe it as. It's not... I mean... It's a map. Who's this weirdo?
Saren's hiding something. Give me more time. Stall them.
Stall the Council? Don't be ridiculous. Your investigation is over, Garrus.
Commander Shepard, Garrus Vicarian. I was the officer in charge of the C-Sec investigation into Saren.
This meeting is adjourned.
That's an Asari. The blue one. The one with the cowl is a Salarian. The one with the kind of things going down the chin, that's a Turian. That guy's a human, supposedly. Yeah, Keepers are adorable. Look at them. Look at their soft, scintillating shells. Alright, sorry, I was distracted. Where was I?
I can't believe the Council ignored all the evidence against Saren.
Saren's one of their best operatives. It's only natural they take his word over ours.
Why are you so quiet?
So now we just chase leads while this smug Turian runs around with his Geth troopers.
You'll notice, I hate to keep pointing this out, but Citadel is probably one of the better designed aspects of the entire game. Some of the later areas aren't as well laid out, don't have as good level design, don't have as good structure, but the Citadel, they clearly put a lot of thought and effort into what, where, and how. We drop down, Keeper right in front of us. If we go to the left, they start arguing and talking about this side quest before we even reach them, and of course it's an alien we haven't seen before, which is also specifically designed to be a color that pops out against the background. 3 things indicating that we should talk to these people.
That Hanar refuses to listen to reason. Why can't it act in an orderly and lawful manner?
Are there laws being broken here?
I am not unreasonable. The Hanar is free to spew its nonsense once it purchases an evangelical permit.
So if the Hanar gets a permit, it's allowed to preach?
No. Registered evangelicals must follow regulations. There are specific areas where preaching is legal. Failure to follow the regulations results in the forfeiture of the license.
What's the purpose behind the evangelical permits?
Forcing religious evangelicals to register for a permit weeds out undesirables. It keeps the area safe. The Citadel is too important to become a battleground for a religious war.
Okay, so I know it's not Halloween, but I actually kind of agree with that overall. We don't want you to stop preaching, and we don't want you to stop being religious. That's silly. But what we do want is for you to not let it bleed over into the kind of religious wars that actually absolutely happen. So, yeah, exactly. Time and place. You got your permit, which proves that you've bothered to put the paperwork and time into it. You're not just some crazy hobo off the street. That's called a barrier to entry. And you go here, here, and here. That's the places where not only you can go, but other people can go if they want to hear about it. Boom, boom, done.
What if I purchase the evangelical permit for you?
Finances are only a partial limitation. This one does not believe that one should pay in order to speak the truth. However, this one also does not possess the 150 credits necessary to purchase the permit.
You don't have 100. You...
Sounds pretty shady.
Everything I do falls completely within the bounds of interstellar commerce law. Even so, many of my clients would prefer their transactions remain undisclosed. For example, suppose a Hanar ambassador was petitioning the council to reduce tariffs on Hanar goods. How would it look if he had money invested in a Hanar exporting company? Even if his true motives were to help his people, he would be accused of advancing the petition for his own personal gain. I can keep his personal finances private.
This all makes entirely too much sense, and that's all I'm going to say about this. What I'm not sure about is how much of that was deliberate. At some point or another, we'll have to discuss this. So Mass Effect... Now's a good time. Yeah, let's look at Kaiden's ass really quick. No, come back, Caden, no! Yeah, there we go. All right.
That's him.
Oh my god, it's an assassin! Da-da-da-da! Whoop, whoop. This. Do-ah! Do-ah! Do-do! Do-do!
Those were Saren's men. Perimeter clear.
Gotta make sure. Okay, so I'm just gonna say this, okay? I don't care. That outfit is ugly. I don't care. I don't care. It's ugly. It looks terrible. I haven't read most of the Mass Effect books because the ones I did read were not... Yeah. Anyways, Of course, I also don't read in general nowadays. Reading's for nerds!
I didn't tell anyone, I swear!
That was smart, Doc. Now if Garrus comes around, you stay smart. Keep your mouth shut or we'll... Who are you?
Let her go!
Ah!
One thing remains consistent about Garrus, he's a damn good shot. That guy's got a groin of steel, look at that.
Last I heard, he was at the C-Sec Academy.
What's he doing there?
Fist accused him of making threats. We brought Wrex in for a little talk. If you hurry, you can catch him at the Academy before he leaves.
Move out.
Alright, time to have tons of sex with Garrus. I don't know how that works physically, but by golly, we're gonna make it work. Alright, so let's get rid of Caden, because nobody likes him.
I've read your file. If anyone is going to uncover corruption here, it's the hero of the Skillian Blitz.
Sounds like a good cause. If I find any information, it's yours.
Thank you, Commander. You won't regret it.
If Wong is the one I'm thinking of, I ain't punching her. She's cool. She showed them how humans die. Now that probably sounds like a dig, but it actually really isn't. Yeah, you know what? Good distinction.
Look, I know it was you. I remember your face.
Oh god, this
really,
guy.
That's impressive. Usually you humans can't tell one Turian from another.
This was the place. Now, are you going to give me a refund or not?
Do you have your proof of purchase?
What? No, I don't think you ever gave me one.
I'm sorry, then. I can't help you.
But, what do you...
Can't help you.
My people have a saying. Seek the enemy of your enemy, and you will find a friend.
I think we're gonna get along just fine, Wrex.
Let's go. I hate to keep Fist waiting.
Someone asked me where on the Paragon to Renegade scale I would rate characters. I decided we should probably do this as we recruit them, and I forgot to do it for Garrus earlier. Garrus is not actually that Renegade. He is definitely a Renegade, but he's only like mildly Renegade. Like if we're to do it like this and Renegade's over here and Paragon's over here, Garrus is like here. Certainly leaning towards Renegade, but not an extremist by any respect. By contrast, Wrex, substantially more Renegade, which is funny when you think about it. We also then have Ashley. Ashley is a weird one because Ashley is also Renegade. She's a little bit less Renegade, probably closer to Garrus' thing. But despite being a military brat, she tends to think with the perspective of a frontline soldier, which tends to think that the rules matter when the rules matter, and when they don't, they don't. That links us, of course, to the last character we've met so far, which is Caden, who is substantially more Paragon over here. He is far more adherent towards that gentleman mindset, and tends to be far more of a typical soldier, I think what I'm going to call that. And we'll cover others as we go. Alright, there's only one thing to do then. There we go. There we go. Oh, yeah. That's the stuff. Alright, let's see here. Sorry, I'm actually typing up some notes here. I'm not just staring at Garrus' ass. Alright, how do I leave this mode? There we go. Alright, Garrus' ass. I mean, Garrus. Look, I just want him for his body, okay? Like, I'm so happy for both of them. Game. That was odd, but okay. I'll accept that because it wouldn't let me go into cover. That's strange. Alright, that's cool. That's cool. Let's try that again. A little more actually going into cover.
Why do I have to do it myself?
There we go. Jesus, game.
But when she shows up, it'll be Saren's men waiting for her.
Give me the location. Now.
Here on the wards, the back alley by...
I love how we just go back to normal conversation after that.
Now. You can make it if you hurry.
Were you hurt in the fight?
I know how to look after myself. Not that I don't appreciate the help. Who are you?
Your brother. Or, I mean...
My name's Shepard. I'm looking for evidence to prove Saren's a traitor. I thought you were on your pilgrimage.
The pilgrimage proves we are willing to give of ourselves for the greater good. What does it say about me if I turn my back on this? Saren is a danger to the entire galaxy. My pilgrimage can wait.
I'll take all the help I can get.
Thanks. You won't regret this.
No, I won't.
Henderson and I will go ahead to get things ready with the council.
Does anyone remember how to do that? Oh, yeah. Even better. Ugly as sin. Alright. Unfortunately, I cannot give a game a negative for something it simply doesn't have. It doesn't work that way. But it does change the review, because Mass Effect 3 will not get positives that it would if it was still having the multiplayer. So while it doesn't gain negatives, it does lose positives. Our server is expensive. No, despite what Twitch will tell you about how they desperately need that extra money to keep their streaming servers going, that's all a goddamn lie. In fact, hosting has actually gotten cheaper in the last, say, 10 years. Actually, 20 years, but, you know. But point is, the prices and overall cost for server maintenance and upkeep has gone down, not up. It's something that pisses me off when we discuss MMOs, when someone pulls the plug on an MMO, because there's not really a lot of reason to do that in almost every case. But yes, what Sierra Mike says is correct. The analogy I like to use for servers is trucks. Let's say you want to make a business, and it involves having a truck and delivering stuff around town. Very high initial cost, but the maintenance of that truck is relatively low. So, it's the same thing with a server. You dump a ton of money initially, and then it costs virtually nothing to keep it going. Now, you're probably thinking, so EA doesn't want to dump a bunch of money initially for the servers. No, because once again, it's very, very easy to simply rent out other people's servers, especially since VMware has been exploding for the last 15 years at this point, and use them. So you don't even need the initial cost of the servers at this point for something as relatively low tier as Mass Effect 3's multiplayer. If it was something like, say, WoW, then yeah, you would need to make your own servers, because you need your own dedicated spot for that. But this isn't even on the same category as that. Yeah, flying around in the Hammer was fun, the Hammerhead, but it's kind of like driving around on a vehicle made of breadsticks over a giant vat of pizza sauce. Any mistake, and it's like, it's gone, it's gone. I got this. Nope. Yes, that is hacking and how it works. We've got one other minigame we'll have to look at later if memory serves, but we'll get there. Or I could just smear Omnigel on it. I always loved the idea. Yeah, the Towers of Hanoi hack, and that's the other thing. I always loved the idea that we literally smear Omnigel on stuff. Like, just imagine we've got a giant, like, canister of it, like you keep your soup warm in, and you just kind of go, and just smear it all over something, and it's like, there we go. And the door just opens because all the circuitry is being fried by the gel. You just pour it over it.
Word on the street is that you've been busy. Congratulations on taking down Fist. I was sure he was a big player in anything going on here. Did you find anything in his office that could help me?
Yes, it's a new outfit for you. Yes, I have completely deactivated monetization on my channel. You want to hear something funny? So I have a setting set up in order to be able to read all my comments on my channel. I'm not going to bore you with the whole story, because it's actually kind of complicated to explain. But let's just say that I have a setup in order to be able to read all the comments on my channel. I almost always do that on my phone. So I hit this button. The moment I pull this up, the first thing it says is, would you like to monetize? Every time. I switch to the other channel, because I have both channels on here. Would you like to monetize? Every time. And the answer is always the same. No. Yeah, exactly. It's the abuse of ads which irritates me. Hell, I agree with DLCs as a concept. Go ahead. I'm ready. Because DLC can, and even has been used to great effect over the years by people who want to put out additional content for a little bit of extra money to get just some more fun with the game, right? Yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I tend to make that distinction between DLC and expansions. Used to do that based on quantity, but nowadays it's more about quality. Do I agree with loot boxes as a concept? No. Nothing is good about loot boxes, top to bottom. And I appreciate it, Chill Paladin. I really do. Also, I'm just going to be honest, I thought that said Chili Paladin for just a second. Not as a bad thing, because that sounds awesome. No, think about it, right? You're out there like, oh, bam, and just smash down some undead and crush these people and heal this person. And then you whip out this bowl of like amazing chili and it actually heals you. That's a good idea. I'm going to write that down. Hang on. I'm going to write that down. Man, I wish I was playing Tor right now, you know? If only. We could. There is content we didn't cover in Tor because it would be insane to do that.
Why are you trying to kill your partner?
I'm not trying to kill him. Jalid's job was to disseminate our initial findings. But he decided to keep the data for himself. Maybe to sell it. I don't know.
I should kill both of you idiots.
We lost our heads. We just couldn't let an opportunity like this pass us by.
I don't know. Seemed like the right thing to do, you know? Maybe it's in my blood. My grandfather was a cop back on Earth. It's kind of what CSEC is. Police for the Citadel. I'm still pretty new at it, but I like it so far. Way more interesting than staying back on Earth. You get to meet all kinds of cool aliens, like those Hanar. Wild. Plus, CSEC gets a lot of respect here. We uphold the law. People, even aliens, appreciate that.
Two things about that sentence. First of all, you can respect cops? Second of all, I like that statement. People, even aliens, appreciate that. Now, I don't want to start a thing here, but one of the things that's always amused me is everyone calls out Ashley for being racist. Half of this game's cast are speciesist, is what it actually is. Like, literally half. It's probably over half, actually. It's mostly NPCs, but it's all over the place. And it always weirds me out a little bit that nobody ever comments on that. That's all. I just wanted to say that really quick.
I have to go.
Right. You're probably real busy. Well, see you around, Commander.
Of course. Now remember, to keep upholding the law. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to scan this keeper. It is against the law to divide by 0.
I'm surprised that you're willing to kill your own, Wrex. Aren't the Krogan just a few generations away from extinction?
You don't get it. For all your talk of honor and pride, the Turians never had to test their principles in a real struggle. Anyone who fights us is either stupid or on Saren's payroll. Killing the latter is business. Killing the former is a favor to the universe.
Actually, probably one of my favorite Wrex quotes of the various elevator things we can do. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are people who don't like happiness and joy, so it's not that hard to think of someone who doesn't like Joker. I'm pretty sure most people who exist would like having what Joker has. Go. Oh, and just to get this out of the way, the SR2 is better than the SR1 in every way. Just saying. Would I romance Joker if I could? No, because I feel like the romance he gets works for him, right? Like it's just such a perfect match, you know. Oh my god, so I talked about that earlier, Don Crow. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick to death of the topic. I think Ashley is less racist than about half the cast of this game. There, I said it. I don't give a crap at this point. People whining about it for literally 10 years have gotten to the point where I just don't care anymore. It's not quite the same. If I was to try and describe it, it feels like there's more of an actual physics engine in play, which is actually bad, because it takes away the ridiculousness of it. Oh my goodness. Let's try this thing. Let's try this. Here we go. We could get to the top, but that's not what I want. I want to go up. Up! Up! Yeah, let's try this. Nope. It just does not want to do it. Wow. You seeing this, right? As soon as we hit too much of a vertical plane, it just starts losing drive. What alien would I like to be born and raised as? Asari. There's no question there. Asari lived the longest. So that's the only option. What do I think about that person? They're insane! There's something wrong with them. They must be purified. They must be shown the error of their ways and be made to join the extroverted side of the Force. You will go to every party, interact with every person, and you will be a part of a huge crowd all the time. At least that's what fiction tends to lean itself towards. Very strange, really. You ever notice that? Of course you have. Fiction really tends to treat being shy or being introverted as something to be cured. Really irritates me. I do not like how this thing drives. I've kind of decided. It's just... So let me describe one of the things I don't like about this. And I know this isn't new, but check this out. Okay, so this is me holding forwards, right? And this is me holding forwards. This is me holding forwards. And this is me holding forwards. Nothing but forwards. And I kind of hate that. Because it's already caught me like 3 or 4 times when I'm actually trying to back up. And because I'm holding back, it's not going back because I'm doing this right here. Yeah, let's see if we can change that around. What do we got? What do we got? Controls. Oh, hey. Thank God. Hey, look! Oh God, that is so much better. That is so much better. That is immediately better. Oh yeah! Yeah! Ugh, okay, I feel better now. Booyaka. Although with how close we are, I'm not sure anything's gonna work, but whatever, let's go kill millions of people. Woo! Mako! Woo! Oh yeah. God, that feels better. Alright, let's do this. You know, that's true, Crazy Norse. I always say we're tolerant of lurkers around here, but I don't really mean that as like a gig or a joke or a gimmick or whatever. Some people just don't feel comfortable chatting and interacting with the chat, or with me for that matter. And there's no judgment there. There's no commentary there. You know what I mean, right? Don't you? How many of you were nervous the first time you hopped into a stream? Maybe mine, maybe someone else's, and you were like... And there was just that almost tension, for lack of a better way to put it. That little bit of anxiety of, oh God. Right? No judgment. No, Lolum Lost. Not at all. Not at all. Yeah, Oklahoma. Yeah. I was going to call out Kansas, to be completely blunt. Because Kansas is totally like that. I ever tell you the story? I'm at a grocery store. I'm actually visiting in Kansas. This is years after I moved out of that goddamn state. And I'm just hanging out, and I've only got... you know, I've got my grocery store. There's a guy behind me who's only got a couple of items. And I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. And they look at me with just this, like, what are you trying to pull? What scam is going on here? And then they refuse to accept my offer to go ahead of me, and instead go for another lane entirely. They're suspicious of my intention. I'm just being like, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, clearly, I just secretly live in the Sith Empire, and nobody told me.
This is Dr. Himes. They found me, damn Batarians. I can hear them out there prowling around, trying to find a way in. It sounds like they're attaching something to the door. If I don't make it, tell my family I love them.
The body has severe burns and shows sign of major concussive trauma. Mercifully, the explosion would have killed her instantaneously. Wow! Okay. I've decided we should genocide the Batarians. Because, like, 2 or 3 of them are really, really evil. So I think the entire species deserves to die for that. Because I mean, this is Mass Effect, right? And everybody's the same, so. What would I say to Anakin during Revenge of the Sith? I'd walk up to Anakin, be like, Anakin, Anakin, Anakin. He's like, what? I'm like, Anakin, pay attention to me. He's like, what? I'm under a lot of stress right now. And it's like, okay, Anakin, look at me, look at me. And he'd be like, and there you go. And there's Star Wars solved. Are there any resurrect themes in your dreams? I don't usually dream about being resurrected, no. Usually when I die, I stay dead. We're, the lore walkers, believe that, wait, no we don't. We totally believe in raising people from the dead. Rise! Oh, that's good, Asdus. That's a good one. Oh, you got me there. I laughed so hard I shot Ashley in the back. Get up there with that shotgun, Tali. Get up there. Get up there, Tali. Does she have an ass? Oh my god! Someone has an ass in this game. I'm confused by that. I thought they were forbidden. I like to think that Shepard says that in universe. Oh my god, Tali, you have an ass. What? Yeah. I never knew. Okay, Commander, thanks for telling me that. Woo! Hi. Hello there. As you young kids say. I'm not holding down forwards. Oh, I know, right? Look at this thing. It's so tiny. Especially when you have, like, a Krogan with you. Wrex is like, how do I get in here, Shepard? Alright, before we move on, we gotta do one more thing. Yeah! Yeah! No, I missed! I screwed it up! Damn it. Hang on, let's try that one more time. One more time. Yeah! Damn it! Ah! I'm trying to cartwheel. No! No! Ah! Oh, whatever. Whatever.
Only a fool punches a knapsack in the mouth. We should sneak around and pull its tail.
Okay, that's not actually what I was going for, but you know what? I accept. Yeah! Yeah! Okay, that was worth it just by itself. I want to try to do it again. Wait a second. Yeah! Okay, no, hold on. No. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, we're okay. Yeah! Alright, Mako! Oh, Jesus. I'm okay. I've got this. Shepard? No, it's okay, Wrex. It's okay. I've got this! Hang on. Let's go get the angle right. Come on. Ah. You cannot next to Mako. Alright. Excuse me, boy. Excuse me. That didn't kill you? What? What? You wanna tango, buddy? Come here. This way. Shoot. wait. Let's wait. Scooch a bit. Hang on, hang on. Scooch. A little bit more. A little bit more. I don't think they care about the lava. Cheater! Alright, you got any advice for me, Wrex?
Only a fool punches a Nathak in the mouth. We should.
Yeah! I don't know why I was doing that. Alright, let's do this. For real. Here's me. Here's me. What? Up. There's an invisible wall. There's an invisible wall. Why is there? Okay. Okay, hang on. Oh, yeah, look at that. Actually climbing on it for a second there. Ah, damn it! Ugh. Let me over! What's that mean? Let me in! Let me in! Hang on. We're almost there. We're almost there. Brute forcing, as usual, is the answer here. Hang on. No, wait. Almost. Okay, hang on. Nice and gentle. We're solidly on the roof now. Come on. No. Damn it. So close. Ah, damn it, I even got it right, but the cooldown didn't come off quickly enough. Whoa! And there! What? Tell me you saw... Someone clip that. Yeah, one last try. Yeah, come on. Nope. Okay. Alright, I give up. Unless someone donates right now for... No, don't. I mean, it's Mass Effect. If you're not doing it, I'm doing it, and I don't have time to, Mr. Red. This is for you, Croatia. This is for the entire nation of Croatia! Yeah! Oh god, what do I do now? Ah! Yeah! Damn it, hazardous! Just for that, I dedicate this victory. I'm not even joking. Croatia said one more try, and I was like, sure. And, yeah, for Croatia. What kind of person is this Shepard? I think you know the answer to that. There is only one answer to that. We're just gonna leave that there for a minute. I dedicate this stream to Croatia. You can take that however you want to. That was satisfying. God, that was so satisfying. I did it on camera, too. Visual record. Proof positive. Now, I've done this on camera, even. But practical looking is it's just a different art style to itself. Ugh, kind of that hard. So I do appreciate practical looking over designed. Because over designed, oh Jesus, it's just ridiculous. Michael Bay Transformers? No, that's just visual noise. That's even worse than over-designed. Like, there we go. We got the wedge. We got the wedge! Yeah! Croatia! And now we're extremely stuck. Oh, God. Hey, no, it's okay. It's okay. All right, there we go. There we go. Let's do it! Oh, Jesus. I am just... It does not like being here. I believe we did 1 through 60, Ross. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. You happy now, Sonoshi? No, of course you're not. I want to do this. All right, here we go. Shepard, I think we can get out of... No. No, we're not done with the mission yet, Wrex. What? 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 Oh my God. Huh. You see, Mr. Red? Croatia! You have abandoned me! You have abandoned me, Croatia. Why? I'm not Russia, I swear. Damn! The cutting edge Croatian stealth Mako. Yeah, we gotta try again at least once for science. Yeah! I can't even move the mouse this time. Do you notice that the engines are still firing? Look at the bottom of the screen. The afterburners are still going. Okay. You know, where did the Mako go? Where did... I mean, hell, I legitimately think Liara looks better here, now, than Pee-wee or whatever her stupid name was looked in Andromeda. Like, she always looked wrong to me. Her face, I mean. Her terrible, terrible face. PB, that's just... Whatever her dumb name is, I don't know. Miss, let's have sex. You don't have to tell your lover about it. I know. There's other things to her character. But I'll never forget that scene. Because it's just this weird scene out of nowhere. Like, hey, you want to have sex? You don't have to tell anybody. If you're with anybody, you know, they never have to find out. I'll never tell. No. Croatia does not have sex with Asari that are not Liari. Liara. Oh my god. Asari? Liari? Really, Laura?
If I die in here, I'll kill him.
Kill who? Me? What did I do? Just check out your ass. I need that Krogan tail. Just... Garrus, you look terrible, buddy. I love you like a brother. Really. But good God.
Mission reports are filed, Commander. You want me to patch you through to the Council?
Why, yes.
Patch him through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
We've received your report, Commander. I understand Dr. Tassoni is on the Normandy.
I assume you're taking the necessary security precautions.
Don't tell me how to do my job.
You are free to act as you see fit, Commander. Our role is to offer guidance and advice.
It's up to you if you're smart enough to listen.
I don't need this.
Communications cut, Commander.
Once upon a time, back in high school, this is a long time ago, back before some of you were even born. Oh god, I'm old. Back in high school, I was in one of my various art classes, making a pillow for my mother. It had this symbol on it. Now, if you've seen my symbol, you kind of know what it looks like. If you haven't, don't worry about it. But, some asshole, who is an asshole, came over and saw that and was like, oh, is that the number of people, excuse me, gotta say it right, is that the number of girls you've banged? And he said it in this really coarse way. Now, I was sick to death of this guy. So when he pushed against me, immediately after, I pushed back. And when he looked like he was going for a punch, I grabbed the stool to defend myself. Now, he backed off, because he probably wasn't expecting me to pick up a stool and be ready to slam it over his head, which is what the next step was going to be. He just backed off, right? No biggie, no foul, move forward. A couple years pass. I'm visiting. You know, I have since moved away, and I am visiting my mother. I happen to be getting gas at a gas station. Same kid walks up, and I recognize him immediately, because it's me, and you know my memory. So I just play it cool. Just filling up the car. He walks over and says, hey. My reaction, in basically this exact same tone, hey, what's going on? He's like, oh, you're back, you remember me? I was like, yeah, we used to go to high school together. And he's in this big, you know, thing. It's like, yeah, you tried to hit me with a stool once. So I said, the exact same tone, yeah, that's because you were an idiot then and you're an idiot now. And I just stared at him. He backed down. Probably because we were at a public gas station. And he wasn't a kid anymore. In other words, he doesn't get, you know, there's more consequences than just being suspended at that point. But that's what I mean when I say, I don't be rude to someone who's rude back, I just shut them down. The actual reason I came here... Flingagon is an arid terrestrial, slightly larger than Earth, with a lower density that reflects its relative lack of heavier elements. The crust is composed of tin and aluminum, with wide deserts of dust-fine sand that are easily stirred up by the wind. Flingagon's most striking feature is, of course, the Great Rift Valley that stretches from the southern hemisphere. What is most fascinating about the rift is it does not appear to be natural. The geological record suggests it is the result of a glancing blow by a mass accelerator round of unimaginable destructive power which occurred 37 million years ago. Croatia! Hurts. As it should. Where's my music, game? That's another thing. Mass Effect... it counts! It counts! Mass Effect 1 focused much more on plot and world building, whereas Mass Effect 2 focused much more on character and character arcs. Character and character, basically. Whether that works or doesn't is kind of up to you, but it is definitely a shift in focus. It's not like Mr. Red doesn't know how to do good editing. Really. I just think... I think it was getting too memey. I don't know what else to call it. Mimi brings viewers I don't want, Zeiss. I mean, you're right. I don't really... I'm a silly person. Anybody who knows me knows I am silly. Croatia! But, I'm just not a meme person. I never have been. And I never will be. And it's not just because I'm old. It's just because that's not who I am. I wasn't that way as a kid, either. You know what I mean? Leveling agility. Dun, 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 dun. See, the thing is, that was actually on the stream, Dr. Winter. That wasn't an edit. I was actually playing Doom music on stream for that.
I did what I could to make their end quick and painless. I had no other choice. It was necessary to protect my children. Only I can keep them safe.
The Alliance sent me to bring you in, Major. Can't you see this has gotten out of hand? Don't you understand you're endangering your followers?
Yeah, it's really obvious doing standard dialogues. Mark Meer is literally just reading the pages off the line. So, I should probably explain this. everybody knows that Mark Meer was a stand-in voice actor. That's not news. You should probably understand what a stand-in voice actor is, because it's actually really common. See, in a lot of... game production isn't linear, right? And you don't... sometimes certain aspects of game development take longer than others, and you don't want to be bottlenecked, and you don't want to be prevented from working on something just because you're missing X or Y or Z. So, cutscenes like this take timing triggers and event flags in order to function. That's how the BioWare cutscene works. That means they need to be able to figure out certain aspects of file timing and other stuff. So, what they would do is they would have someone, especially if they didn't have the actor, sit down and just read the lines out loud so that the lines are there. The files exist, they can dump the files in, they can make the cutscenes, and then from there, you know, once they get the real actor later, they can actually have them do the actual lines and swap them in and out very quickly and very efficiently, right? So it was a good plan, it's just they never got the real lines. So Mark Meer, who has no direction, and when I say, by the way, we want to be clear about this. When we say that Mark Meer is getting no direction, that's literal. He is quite literally just reading the lines from a page. He's like, all right, like I know that's not his line, but I respect that you've come under a banner of peace, but I cannot do as you ask. If you take away their father, my children will be helpless. And that's it. That's all he does is he reads the lines straight. There's no direction, there's no nuance, there's no nothing. He's just trying to get the timing down. Now, what I can't believe is for the exact version of the game we're playing now, the Legendary Edition, that they never let Mark Meer go back and re-record them, which he has gone on record as saying he wants to do, by the way. Let me re-stress this for the 50th time today. Mark Meer is a good actor. The fact that this exists is honestly a blemish on his record. It would drive me bonkers if I was Mark Meer, given this. This is just nonsense. But anyways. This is weirdly quiet.
I'm okay.
Okay. It's about to shoot you to make sure. Yeah, we gotta go murder the other building, too. Hang on, Major Kyle. We done here? Yep, we're done with Major Kyle. Alright. Murder, murder, murder! Murder feeds me. Oh, there you go. Instead of worship, I'll just feed off of murder. Perfect. See, that's a much better option. You know what's really funny, Zed Slayer? I checked. I did the math on this. Some of my mixes actually predate the concept, the term Nightcore. So Nightcore copied off of me. Yes, this is the Croatian national anthem. I mean, it handled like crap. That is a true statement. It was terrible controls. It just accidentally lead into being fun. I could have said that. Emperor Palpatine, we need to ask you about the Mako's controls. Good as a point of view, Anakin. Yeah, I doubt they noticed or cared, Monobrent. I don't mean to sound negative, but so far the Legendary Edition is the same as most remasters. Cheap and lazy. For some reason, companies seem to have this impression that if you just throw together a cheap and lazy remaster, you can make money for little effort. Probably because they can. I will say, if I had to pick one other technological innovation that blows my mind, it would be 3D printing. The very concept of 3D printing is certainly something that's been theorized for an extraordinarily long time. But the fact that it's not only functional, but serviceable at this point, in fact, it's even accessible at this point, it's just kind of... Nobody likes the Thresher Maw. You know, the rest of the crew are like, what are you doing, Shepard? I want to kill the Thresher Maw. Are you crazy? A little bit. Is Saren a failed shepherd in that he is what shepherd would have been if his spirit was broken by the Reapers and gave in to despair and all sorts of other fun stuff? So let's be very clear. Unlike the Anderson comparison, the Saren comparison is very apt. Saren is I forget what they actually call that in literary terms. It is absolutely a dark mirror kind of a situation. Foil, there we go. I think there's a freaking term for it. It is Saren is absolutely a foil to Shepard because he's talented, skilled, has resources, experienced, veteran, you know, just like we are. The catch is Saren was always a dick. In fact, as has been mentioned, he is an extreme renegade before he interacted with any of this crap. He is a very good insight into what a severe renegade shepherd could and arguably would be if you play him that way. Who, Loner? Time to kill me some Geth. All right. Let's see here. So, next question. Did I know there's a... Oh, Pillars of Snow isn't here. Hang on. Well, there's a snapshot for you. Worst character in Mass Effect 1. Oh, no. Worst character in Mass... I actually already answered that. That's kind of lame. Pillars of Snow says, did you know there's a garlic bread cleric domain homebrew? Honestly, Pillars of Snow, if you told me that there was a Barney the Purple Dinosaur domain for clerics in homebrew, I would not be surprised by that. What do we got here? How many negatives can you give Lotro for backtracking? Is every zone 3 negatives for backtracking? I'm going to be completely real. Because of how Lotro is constructed, every micro zone could get 3 negatives for backtracking. So that's, what, like 3 for the Lone Lands, for example? Oh my goodness. Oh, the backtracking in Lotro's terrible.
Good to go.
Just absolutely terrible. There are aspects of that game I love to death. Really. But, good God, that is a game that would be many negatives to gameplay. So many negatives to gameplay. I'm getting nasty. What's funny is you don't really have to change the story at all. Just fix up the gameplay, you know? A Lotro review would be terrible. It would be awful. You really do not understand how bad a Lotro, how boring and empty and vacuous a Lotro review would be. Every single tiny little action would take 5 times longer than it does in every other game, ever. It would be slow and boring, and it would take forever. Oh my God, Garrus. Oh my God. Hang on, you ready for something even worse? Check it out. You ready for this? You ready for this? Behold the glory. So, I don't know if you know this aerodynamic fetus. I have a website. Did you guys know I have a website? It's this brand new thing. I just invented it. I was like, you know, the internet's cool, but it's just a chat channel, right? Maybe if we had like a place, like a site you could go to. And when you go to that site, that'll actually enable you to view something on the web, right? I don't know, it's this weird idea I keep having bounce around in my head. I don't know, it's bizarre. Also, as weird as it may sound, the planets, the random planets, the side planets, whatever you want to call them, in Mass Effect 1 have a bit of the Corellia problem. They're simultaneously too empty. That's the wrong word. They're too small and they're too big at the same time. And to demonstrate that, And we're there. Oh, hello. Yes, Stevie Dimitri, I do. Because, for some reason, ancient stuff is always better than modern stuff, which always just drives me absolutely bonkers. We just had that problem in Tor. Here's a several thousand-year-old spaceship, which is stronger than a modern dreadnought. Right. Yeah, sure. Do that. Oh, yeah, we look amazing now. Oh, yes. Ooh. Let me recover this corpse here. Hack, 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 hack. I have hacked the corpse.
Careful, Commander. I've got a bad feeling about this. Geth! It's a trap!
Oh no! It was a trap all along. Now they're all gonna die. Damn it, free experience. But the thing is, most stories, I could actually analyze this more if I wanted to. Most stories don't focus on plot, because in general, most writers don't focus on plot, unless that's the point. To explain that a little bit, the kind of story that focuses on plot is usually a mystery. That's the type of story that will actually really dig into a plot, the sequence of events, and the stuff that happens throughout the course of the work. When you have a mystery work, you really want to have a good plot because that's the point of the entire work.
Jacob's not going to make it. His brain was deprived of oxygen for too long. There's nothing any of us can do for him now except let him die with dignity. Is what he would want. I'm more worried about Julia now. She's showing signs of severe depression. I gave her some meds that should help, but I better warn the captain.
Okay, that's a little messed up, but sure. Let's make sure to finish that off there.
Looks like that machine is keeping him alive.
Oh. My second thought is, no, I don't think I felt a damn thing during Transformers 4 other than just general disgust. You have to understand, I have a personal vendetta with Transformers 4 because for years there was exactly one thing, well, two things, about Transformers 1 through 3 that I actually defended. There's two things they got right, the two positives in those films. And they got rid of both of them in Transformers 4. So, congrats. You nuked them. What happens if you're lost and have no change to buy a bus or train ticket? Well, the first thing that happens is you're stranded there forever, ever, and you become homeless and destitute, and you turn to a life of prostitution and crime. Not necessarily in that order. Oh, you mean in the extant. Right. So, what would actually happen there, it would depend. But what would most likely happen is, first of all, someone would be like, what the hell is wrong with you? How did you manage this? What circumstance led to this insanity? But, second of all, what would most likely happen is you would get a trip home. And it would most likely, hello, be comped by either, so you could go, you could gain a debt for it. So, you know, you owe them the trip home. Under the obvious assumption that you'd be able to pay that debt off later. If it needs to be paid immediately, or maybe you have a really bad credit rating, or maybe your name is Evo, then what might happen is your family could pay for the trip home. I mean, they're not expensive. It is not a hard thing to make happen. What currency are you used to, Zitzler? Give me something to work with here. Okay, American money. So, a simple ticket home would probably cost you about $2, for example. So there's a real-life concept when it comes to trains. It's something that California is running into right now here in the States. It boils down to ticket prices need to be... I'm not going to make this. Oh, yeah! Less than 1 second. Ticket prices need to be high enough to, you know, pay off the train, but low enough so that people will use them. And the problem there is that people who set those prices are morons who have no idea what they're doing. Because they insist on looking at it at a basic mathematic perspective, aka, well, it cost us X amount of money to get this railway going, therefore we need to charge Y amount per ticket, without looking at any other factor involved in that. Any other factor. And of which there are so many, I don't even know where to begin. One of the problems is, and this is a proven thing, people will tend to use train cars more if those trains are relatively cheaper. Now, if those trains are cheaper, then those trains aren't making as much money, which means they're paying off the debt that was incurred to make the train happen slower. And it is worth noting that if the trains don't make a certain amount of money per time, not per ticket, but per time, then that train will eventually default. Like, they literally will not be able to maintain it. That's a valid thing. But the problem is most people tend to forget one of the most basic economic principles that exists. If you charge less, the barrier for charging, the barrier for entry, is lower, and more people are going to use it. More tickets means more throughput, which means more likelihood of getting all of those seats filled, and making sure that the maintenance cost, which is the important thing, are actually covered. But everyone keeps thinking about making money on the trains, which, I'm just going to say this as blunt as I can, commercial trains, excuse me, passenger trains are not for making money. That's not their purpose in existing. It's not a business. It's a public service. Not being able to move. That was fascinating. Oh god, they all look like Caden. Who do I shoot? Who do I shoot? Yeah, normally I'd say it's sniping time. But we gotta do this proper, like. Although, I'm curious if I could hit this guy with my pistol. Yep. In fact, I'm curious if I could kill this guy with my pistol. No, him. I need to kill him with my pistol, not with me. Time to get out of here. Oh my god. Okay. Not gonna question it. Not gonna question it.
I'm here to make an inspection, Commander. Normandy is an Alliance warship. I intend to see she's up to snuff.
Wow. Okay.
We'd be honored to show her to you, Admiral.
I'll just bet. Wait here. I won't be long.
No, you won't.
Commander, I'm not happy.
What did you find out of order?
Who designed that CIC? Putting the commander aft of everyone else is inefficient. What if he needs to discuss with the operators toward the bow?
Modified Turian style. They prefer commanders looking over their subordinates, rather than in the middle of them. We wanted to see how effectively they can command with that setup.
Reasonable goal, but they should have studied that in a lab rather than on a frontline warship. I had to shake my head at that drive core of yours. 120 billion credits at element 0 to make this thing able to move without giving itself away. You realize we could make drive cores for 12,000 fighters with that money? What good is it to hide for a few hours anyway? Useless.
I like to think that this guy is a complete moron. Because he is. I was just about to say, this dude is a rear admiral who claims there's no value or benefit in alliances with other people. I'm going to say it that way on purpose. And a stealth ship.
Commander, glad to see you.
Wish it were under better circumstances. Where is she?
Behind those shipping containers. I've got a sniper position, but I don't think we'll need him. She's only a danger to herself. We've got a sedative to calm her down, but we can't get close to her. Every step we take gets her more wound up.
I hope I don't need it. Tell your men to stand by.
Don't push her too hard. If she seems liable to pull the trigger, back off, or walk away. I am willing to wait her out. Good luck, Commander.
I kind of like this, by the way. I hate to talk about what I like to refer to as proper military. but you have the sniper ready just in case. Not because you're a warmonger, not because you're a psychopath, and not because you like killing people, but just in case. Your goal here is to calm this poor woman down and help her out. And that's the military, or at least that's what the military should be.
Huh. Stop! Stop! What are you?
My name is Shepard. Lieutenant Gerard sent me to talk to you. What's your name?
Animals don't get names. The Masters put their symbols on her. Hot metal all over her back. She screams when they do it.
You're not an animal. Your parents. What did they call you? Do you remember them?
She remembers a lot of things. Talitha. They call her that. She doesn't remember the rest. Leave her alone.
I was on Mindwar. My parents died in the raid.
Lying! You get hit for lying! Get the buzz or the burning. Can't be there. Why are you alive? Why are you? Why aren't you like her? Broken. Only fit to dig and carry.
For a while, I was broken. I lost my whole family, Talitha. My friends, my childhood. I had to pull myself up and keep going.
You lose your mommy and daddy, but you don't dig, you don't carry. You stand up. She wishes she could stand up.
I'm going to take a step towards you now. Okay?
No, she's no good! Don't want to be handled again!
How did you get here? Did you escape?
She can't escape. They have chains, wires, needles. You go too far, they take your brains away. Animals like her come. Animals with guns. They make the Masters explode. She tries to fix the Masters so they won't be mad at her. She puts all the reds and purples back in, but they don't move. The other animals take her.
You were afraid. All you'd known for 13 years was the Master's abuse, so you tried to heal them.
She doesn't want to see other animals. They're not real. They can't be real. They can't see her. If the animals can see her, then this is real. But it can't be. The wires, the chains, the hitting. This doesn't happen to her. It's another girl. A dirty girl. A stupid girl. She deserves it. It happens to her. Doesn't it? They see her, so it's real. She doesn't want it to be real.
What happened to your parents?
She sees them. They're yelling, "Run! Hide!" They hit the Masters. But the Masters, they have lights and hoses. Daddy's... he's melting! Shh! She doesn't want to see that! Don't make her look! Don't look! Stupid, stupid!
I know it hurts, Talitha. I'm sorry. But you need to deal with this. What happened to them? Think.
When she thinks, water comes out of her eyes. The Masters beat her when she wastes water. So she doesn't think anymore. She sees them. Mommy and Daddy. Burning in white light, melting, going to pieces. They can't even say anything to her. They're dead, Shepard. They try to save her and the Masters burn them. Can she stop remembering now, please?
I'm going to take a step towards you now. Okay?
She doesn't want... Don't touch her!
What's the last thing you remember from Mindwar?
Fires. Smells of smoke and burning meat. Animals screaming as the Masters cage them. As they put the metal to their backs. Put the wires in their brains. She pretends to be dead. If she's dead, she can't work. But they know. She hopes to leave. But they put her in the pen. She didn't fight. She was already broken when they put the wires in.
Talitha, you were what, 6 years old? No one blames you for staying quiet and hoping they'd go away. The only person blaming you is you.
She wants to believe that. She wants to believe nothing would change. She doesn't want to be there anymore. In the pen, in the cages, lying quiet while they do things to her.
I'm going to take a step towards you now. Okay?
Please don't touch her. She's dirty. You'll catch it.
Talitha, this will make you sleep. If you fall asleep, they'll take you to a place where you can get better.
Will she have bad dreams?
I'm not going to lie to you. I just don't know.
She'd like that. It hurts when I remember me. But she wants to remember.
Just a little bit too hot, which means it's about perfect.
Commander Shepard?
Oh, hi, Al-Jalani. How are you? You know, I could use a you to recover from the that.
Khaleesa Benzine and Al-Jalani, Westerland News. Would you answer a few questions for our viewers?
Hold up. Switching hands. Switching hands. There we go.
What do you want to know?
You've been given a unique position to represent our race. People want to get a sense of how you'll do that. Humans have been trying to get the respect of the Galactic community for 26 years. With that in mind, what are your feelings on being the first human Spectre?
The Spectres represent the best of every species in the galaxy. To be asked to join them is an honor.
Some have said your appointment is the Citadel throwing humans a bone. Have you encountered any situations where the Citadel asked you to place its needs before the needs of Earth?
The Council is concerned with the needs of the whole Galactic community. We're part of that community now. Our needs are on their agenda, but we're one of many.
You really do believe that, don't you? You've been given command of an advanced human warship for your missions. Is there anything you'd like to say about it?
I like how that's the moment you could punch her. She's actually been fine up till now, but we can just slug her right then and there. I don't know, do you think we should punch her?
I will get you added to our manufacturer's preferred client list. I think you'd be very interested in what they have available. Goodbye, Shepard. It has been a pleasure doing business with you.
Perfect. Maybe I can get out of this amazing armor I'm wearing. And my total lack of ass. So to be very clear, I've talked before about the difference between side quests and, secondary quests, and tasks. Some of the stuff I'm doing, in fact, most of the stuff I'm doing, are side quests. They're low tier, but there is some story there, like the woman we just dealt with, or the Admiral and his missing men. There's something there. Tasks, and this is one of the most clear-cut examples of this ever. These are tasks. Locate these medallions and ID tags. That's a task. Get these medals. There's no story here. There's no content. It's just a checklist that you're filling out. It's like a collectathon in an RPG. There's nothing to it, right? Find the 13 Turian emblems. Find the 10 Asaria writings. That's a task.
You're a hero, Shepard. Decades from now, humanity's going to remember you, and I'll have your picture. Just hold up your gun. Perfect. Thanks again, Commander. I'm gonna hang this in my living room. My wife will love it.
Yeah, this is one of the first times I've done this without using the money trick. So yeah, funny thing. I've never liked Kaidan before because I have universally played FemShep. And not only does he hit on you rather unabashedly, But he also does that thing where he just sort of assumes you're in a relationship. In fact, and I've shown this off on camera, if you just talk to him, just normally, and then go pursue a relationship with Liara, in the middle of it she will say, but we need to talk about your relationship with Lieutenant Lelenko. It's like, I'm sorry, what? Now, I know, there's reasons for that and blah, 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 but what I'm mentioning here is for the longest time, I sort of assumed my dislike of Kaidan was because of him hitting on me. Now I'm playing a guy. And now that I am playing a guy, I can definitively say that I really dislike Kaidan as a character. And fire! Oh, sorry. What am I looking at, actually? Is that India? No, that is actually North America. I see the Gulf. Alright, Ross. Let's see here. Yeah, just have a suit of... I need to invent that for some ridiculous game or another. Just have, like, some kind of armor that's literally just speakers. Just staggered speakers. And of course they have like sonic attacks. You know what? I'll give you that one. Handsome Jack is... I mean, okay. You could also just say Borderlands, the whole setting. Really. Because the whole setting... Let's put this as bluntly as we could. If you took Borderlands and played it straight, you know, just played it as if it was a completely serious science fiction setting, it would be extraordinarily dark and horrific. Borderlands is just awful of a setting. But the whole thing is played with this coat of neon paint and slapstick and ridiculousness because that's part of the shtick of Borderlands, right? So something that should be absolutely horrific, Rachni, isn't. Oh, my bones, Jesus. I did actually answer that question earlier, Evo, when you asked it. However, I will answer you once again. You see... But then I realized Croatia, and that, honestly, it just kind of makes everything better, you know what I mean? Thoughts on Elon Musk? Elon Musk is an asshole. Any questions? No, I meant his recent stuff. My answer doesn't really change all that much. Listen, just because your sports ball team sucks is not my fault! Is what I'd say if you supported the Raiders. Because you wouldn't support the Raiders, right? So Free asks a really good question. Favorite game of the 2020s so far? So let's see. What has come out in the last 2 years? That's Cyberpunk? No. I enjoyed Cyberpunk, and in fact, I had an idiot comment on one of my videos that my opinions on all RPGs are invalid because I gave Cyberpunk a positive score. Last of Us Part 2? No. Big no on that one. Let's see what else we got. Ghost of Tsushima was legit. Had some issues, but was still a very legit game. Definitely enjoyed that. Doom Eternal came out in 2020. I didn't know that. Honestly, Doom Eternal wasn't as good as Doom 4, but it was still very good. It's just, you know, it wasn't the greatest thing ever. Psychonauts 2? Really? Is Psychonauts 2 that recent? Wow. So Psychonauts 2, absolutely fantastic game. Yeah, I'm kind of deliberately not mentioning Metroid Dread, because what I'm trying to think of is, has any game come out in the last 2 years that surpasses Metroid Dread? And I don't think there is. don't think we're gonna beat Metroid Dread. Metroid Dread was legit. I mean, it makes perfect sense why they would, Don Crow, and I've already explained this, so forgive me for the repetition. CD Projekt Red were the Golden Children. They were the Golden Boys. And that you may think, well, that means they'd forgive them more, right? Actually, it works the exact opposite of that. If you're the Golden Child, then what they demand is more of you. And so if you screw up as the Golden Child, the backlash tends to be more. See Actiblizzard, that is to say Blizzard, for another example of that. Oh, I didn't like Golden Wrex. I wouldn't put that in my top 5, 10, 15, 20, or 87. Now, I'm not saying that these companies don't deserve to get some crap. I'm saying, if you're one of the Golden Children, the lashback for you sucking is a lot worse. And it's easy to explain this. All you have to think of is the last EA game that sucked. And think about the backlash to that game sucking. I bet you can't even think of one off the top of your head, because the feedback and the outrage was so mild that it probably died out inside of a week, because everyone expects that of EA. Yeah, nobody cries about EA because we expect them to suck. People cry when a proven company starts sucking. You can argue that's with good reason, and I'm not going to argue against that. Really, I'm not. I actually understand and even agree with that general mentality. If I go to a crummy restaurant and get a crummy meal, that's... I mean, I knew what I was getting into. If I go to a nice restaurant and get a crummy meal, what the crap? So, brief version why I didn't like Judgment. The side quests were boring, which is a criminal offense for a Yakuza game, in my opinion. The game wasn't funny, which is a criminal offense for a Yakuza game, in my opinion. The main plot wasn't engaging and, well done, which is a criminal offense for a Yakuza game, in my opinion. And worst of all, with very few exceptions, the combat wasn't fun, which is a criminal offense for a Yakuza game, in my opinion. I should probably mention that there are a couple of exceptions to that throughout the course of the game. Like, I've played worse, you know what I mean? But it was just a colossal disappointment. Okay, now we're done with all the side quest stuff. Yay. So, what do you think? Noveria or Pharos first? Okay, that was really funny. I don't know how that looks on chat, but on my end, it was... what I literally got was Pharos, Noveria. Pharos, Noveria.
You may proceed, Spectre. I hope the rest of your visit will be less confrontational. Parasini-san will meet you upstairs.
Behave yourself.
I've heard some players don't like that little confrontation. I'm not sure why. These people are just doing their friggin' jobs. Some random person shows up, a human, no less, claiming to be a Spectre. Your reaction should be, uh-huh. We're gonna need your weapons.
Freeze! Hanshan security. This office is sealed.
What are you doing in these offices?
The administrator's orders. Laura Keene is under investigation.
Analeus is paying you to shake this place down. Does Captain Matsuo know you're here?
Hey, I'm not the one who wants Keene. Analeus has a Varen up his ass about this guy. How about this? You pretend you didn't see us, we'll pretend we didn't see you.
That actually works for me. I'll kill everyone else, of course. You two get to live for having a brain. We gotta encourage people to have brains. What in the world is your arm doing? Oh my god! That looked wrong. Ugh. So I don't remember the exact quote, Act, but many, many, many years ago, when we very, very first started getting set up with actually monetizing the streams, I was in the middle of saying something, like, one of the things I have to know every day is just how much fear I feel, or something like that, right? I don't know what the specifics was, but that was like the sentence. But as I was talking, a donation notification came through, and back then they were much louder because we hadn't figured out a lot of this stuff yet. And so it was like, da-da-da-da-da, fear! And it, like, startled me, so I kind of stumbled over it. And so it became kind of a habit to say fear, and then fear, and then fear, every time someone donated. I stopped doing that because A, it was killing my throat, and B, it was kind of a stupid tradition anyways, because I'm not much of a traditionalist. Traditions have to exist for a reason, and there was no real reason to keep doing that one. But that's where it came from. Oh yeah. See, I don't have an ass, so I had to figure out something. Oh, we can finally see if Liara has an ass. Come here, Liara. I need to check out your ass for science. Nope, no ass. Okay, cool. Just verifying. So, let me just get this out of the way really quick. I'm a little bit of a pragmatist, and I don't care. Funerals are for the living, not the dead. They're dead. The end. Move on. So, or moving on, excuse me. Not move on. Move on sounds like it's good. Move on! Your loved ones are dead! No, what I mean is, they're dead. The end. Moving on. Oh, by the way, notice the difference between this and the random planets, the side planets. Complete difference in design philosophy, enemy placement, terrain. Just, it's night and day. So, fun fact, when I first played this game for the first time in the history of the ever, I did exactly what I did this time around, which was go do all the side stuff first. Because of course I did. Because that's how you play video games, damn it! Well, I was starting to think that the game sucked. I know that's a bit of a contentious thing to say, but I want you to picture that the only content you've really seen in this game is doing the random planets. Then I did the first real planet, finally, after all that. And it was just like, oh. Oh. There's content in this game. And yes, I know that sounds harsh, but that was effectively what was going through my head. Mr. Red, if you make a Lore Runner Funko Pop, I will destroy the entire country of the United Kingdom. I just want you to be aware of that fact. Nothing personal. Hey look, something other than the bog standard 3 dungeons we've seen so far, too. Well, the next Mass Effect game... So, hang on. Everyone in chat, I got a challenge for you. What's the stupidest story you could think of for a new Mass Effect game? Some of you are going to meme and joke, and that's fine, but I'm looking for legitimately, like, the worst idea you could think of for the story for a new Mass Effect game. What do you think? See, I was thinking Shepard versus the Reapers again, because that is extraordinarily stupid. Really stupid. I thought surely we could go worse than that. Yeah, no, unfortunately, the dumbest thing I could think of that's actually feasible to happen is them just bringing Shepard back to fight the Reapers again. So Bregman's idea is, it's the next cycle.
It looks like you're trying to restore this facility. Would you like help?
No, Clippy. How many people are even going to get that nowadays? The dominant powers have found Shepard's DNA, cloned them with their memories intact, which makes no sense at all, and they unite with the galaxy to fight the Reapers, only there's no conclusion because all bait for a sequel that gets cancelled at the last minute. Oh my god. The game starts, right? You're playing as Shepard. And you're fighting Reapers, personally, like with the Carnifex. You're just, bah! And you're like killing Reapers. Every shot kills a Reaper, a whole thing. Just...
User alert. Main reactor shut down in accordance with emergency containment procedures. Manual restart required.
But there's just too many of them. Eventually, Shepard is being overwhelmed by the Reapers, who are just swarming over her, literally. And this is just blanketing her, and finally it all just kind of slowly fades to black, and you wake up, and you're on this weird, bumpy cart going through, like, a snowy terrain, and you hear this voice saying, "Oh, we're finally awake." You'll notice, by the way, this is a boss fight, aka this isn't a boss fight at all. One thing I've been quoted as saying several times, and I'm gonna say this again, is Mass Effect 1 doesn't have boss fights. For the record, I do think that's a bad thing, especially in a setting like this where it's really easy to design boss fights. Yeah, it tries to have boss fights. It has things that it probably thinks are boss fights. They're really not. This is literally just an ad fight, a wave fight, for example.
This is not over. Saren is unstoppable. My mind is filled with his light. Everything is clear.
The Rachni didn't cooperate with you. Why should I?
I will not betray him. You will. You...
Well, it could be bad direction, because something I've noticed myself when speaking as a voice director is sometimes if you try to get someone who doesn't know how to sound evil, what they sound like is exactly like Venezia sounded like earlier. I will destroy you. Wait, hang on. And they always lower their voice. I will destroy you. And you will fall before... You know what I'm talking about, right? I hear it all the time. Venezia wasn't evil, but I guarantee you that's what her voice director was telling her. Just be evil. Okay. It's generic as crap. It's possible that this was her first draft of lines. That's the thing that happens too. You know, in other words, like these might have been her demo reel, and they just decided to use them in the final thing. I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities, but one way or another, she sucked. Suckitude engaged. Where am I?
Novaria report is away, Commander. You want me to patch you through to the Council?
Oh, yeah.
Patch him through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
Commander, do not cut me off like last time. I fail to find it amusing.
Whoops.
And we're out.
Oh my god. So for those of you who haven't heard me say that last time, I've never done that. I've never hung up on these people before. Oh, that was great. Do not hang up on me again. Whoops. This... Okay. So, let's talk this out for a second, okay? The Normandy SR-1 is the perfect ship for a player character. It is, in fact, designed for the player character, as we talked about earlier. It's not a fighting ship. The SR-2 was only capable of fighting in combat because we modded it to. So you put the SR-1 in any equivalent fight, even in this setting, and it's going to get stomped. Because that's not its purpose. It's like throwing a luxury cruiser. Well, okay, that's actually a bad analogy. It's like saying which is the better cargo hauler, a luxury cruiser or a cargo hauler. I will admit, and I mean absolutely nothing negative about this, I don't get why Versus questions are so popular. Because they are. They are very, very popular. There's a reason it was a joke for the longest time that the types of questions I would get on my very show were Versus questions. Because I still get them. as recently as this last week. I'm not trying to throw shade, really. You know, I'm not trying to say that there's anything wrong with liking or going into it. It's just, in most cases, there's nothing really interesting about it. And notice the way I phrase that. Because, like the Borg is the perfect example. There's nothing interesting about thinking about the Borg versus anything. You want to give me an interesting versus battle, you give me something like, oh, I don't know, a fully decked out D'Derdex Warbird going up against 2 pyramid ships, I forget what they're called, from Stargate. And then we could talk about it a little bit, right? Or maybe we could discuss, you know, what this particular DC hero would do against this particular Marvel hero, or something like that. Like something where there's enough of a comparison point to really talk and discuss about it. Because most of the versus questions I get are, it's just kind of a shrug, you know what I mean?
Die of thirst, the Geth will surely kill us all.
It's like someone asking me who would win, this character from FF2 or this character from FF6, or not FF6, right? FF7. The character from FF7 is probably going to win, because in addition to being a higher power setting in general, they have guns. Like, most people don't consider tiers of power across settings when it comes to this sort of thing, you know? No, I think the Mass Effect and Reapers being low tier is actually one of the how do I say this? Like, let me put this way. If the Reapers were so ridiculously powerful that nothing could stop them, that we couldn't beat them conventionally, and that they would just sweep the galaxy and all we could do is hope for a miracle, then I would become substantially less invested in the Reapers as a villain. Now, I'm not just saying that to be facetious. I mean that in any setting. In any setting where there's just someone where it's just their super mega death doom, and there's nothing you can do, so go find the MacGuffin. That's not something I'm into. It never has been and never will be, regardless of the setting. So I like the fact that the Reapers have an advantage, very high level advantage. We've actually talked about this before. The Reapers' biggest advantage is their Mass Effect shield, which provides 2 very important things, both of which are discussed in this very game. One, it means that they're, I guess we'll just call it their kinetic shields, are so strong they can literally ram ships as a standard tactic. Those things can take a stupid amount of damage, and they can use them as an offensive weapon. The moment those kinetic shields go down, that ship is mulched, because that's the end of it, right? But those shields are a very, very powerful advantage. The other advantage is, of course, the indoctrination, which, honestly, I would just eject in a Mass Effect rearmament, if I'm being completely honest with you. But that's the other big advantage they have. These 2 advantages removed from the board, and all you have is some big ships with some strong guns. And that's it. And that's a good thing, is what my overall point here is. That I like that. It brings the threat into focus. It makes the threat feel more relevant and more real. It makes it feel like a threat instead of nonsense.
Protect the heart of the colony!
Oh, right. This happens every time.
The water started running not long ago. Thanks to you, I assume. Now we just need to deal with the Geth and we can get back to growing this colony. Here, a few credits for your trouble. Thank you again, Commander.
Thank you for the 63,000 credits. Jesus, this place is rolling in it.
You're the one who repelled that last wave. They'll be back. And if the Geth don't kill us, we'll die of hunger soon enough.
Are you doing anything to remedy the situation?
I need to boost rations with Varen meat, but it's too dangerous. The Alpha Varen, he's huge and he's mad. Rabid, maybe. Totally uncontrollable. I can't do anything until he's dead.
I killed the big Varen. The rest are yours.
Excellent. I'll organize a hunt when the immediate threat of the Geth is gone.
I have to go.
Here, for your trouble. It's not much, I know, but it's all we can spare.
It's not much, it's just 31,500 credits. So they're loaded and they're, upper level snobs. I know this isn't a lot of money. Drop a small loan of $1 million.
Listen, our best hope is to sit tight and wait for company reinforcements. They'll come eventually.
Okay. I tend to read the subtitles before they finish talking, because I read very quickly, right? So, I was reading that line of dialogue, and I did a bit of a quick double take because I read it wrong. Because what I read was, listen, our best hope is to sit tight and wait for enemy reinforcements. They'll come eventually.
Damn it! Shut down the comm!
Yeah! Oh! Yeah! Almost. Hang on. And now a little bit more. Okay, that didn't help, actually. But, there we go! Croatia! And then just for fun, yeah! Woo! Okay, I'm done. You know, we'll talk about this more when we get to Mass Effect 2, but for the longest time, it never even occurred to me that people would actually like Mass Effect 1 better than Mass Effect 2. And then I met the internet. It reminds me of the Modern Warfare thing. Like, for the longest time, you know, to me, Modern Warfare 2 was just better than Modern Warfare 1. And then I met the internet. And the internet was like, no, you're dumb. It's like, oh. Okay. Anyways, I just want you to know this, because there is no way in hell or heaven above that Mass Effect 1 is going to score better than Mass Effect 2. It just does not have the gameplay to support that. And I knew that walking in. That should not be a shock. There's an interesting thought. Oh, that's funny. Anyways, so wishlisting. Oh God, we're back here. Wishlisting a new Mass Effect game. So I'd take the builds gameplay specifically from Andromeda, the vehicle from Mass Effect 1, the terrain design from Andromeda, which wasn't the best, but it was at least there, which puts it on top of everything else. Let's see. Let's go with the character design, focus, and general writing of Mass Effect 2. I'll go with the core combat, the actual shooting of Mass Effect 3.
Looks like the Geth are settling in nicely.
Resistance will be extremely heavy once we are inside.
Help me out. What other bits and pieces can we drag in? Oh, yep. Enemy AI from 3's multiplayer. I agree with that. Also, just the multiplayer from 3. Weapons? I'd take the weapons from 3 or 2. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. I was debating, because, like, I still stand by what I said. The characters are more interesting and just better done in 2. But I could see, like, the story structure from 1. I don't know. Oh, yeah, get the jump pack from Andromeda. Honestly, on that one.
Damn it!
Hi. Now, having just explained that it's important to be open and honest with people about things, I'm going to continue to not explain the Croatian flag.
You won't get away with this, Jong.
So you keep saying, but nobody's gonna miss a few colonists.
Oh, wow. I actually don't have enough points to talk him down.
You've gone way too far. This ends now.
If that's the way it has to be, heck, come on, come on!
Okay. Would you like to fight me?
As if we don't have enough problems. Now we're shooting each other in the back.
It's my fault.
No, that was his
I knew
front,
what was
ma'am.
going on, and I didn't do anything.
We might be able to adapt a concussion grenade to deploy it.
Sounds good. I'll do what I can.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Commander.
So how many of you played this game, did this whole thing, and were like, alright, I'm good to go, and started grenading the colonists? Not equipped this mod, just started grenading the colonists. That should be an awkward zombie. She could do a better job of drawing that than I could. I'll save you! Don't worry! No one has to die! Listen, I am a damn good driver. I am just this good of a driver. Yeah! Check that out. How many people can do that, huh? Oh, right. What? I will admit, though, this is, so what Mr. Red mentioned is kind of tied into what we were talking about earlier with regards to Mass Effect 1 versus 2. As I've said many times, I value gameplay and story, right? That's kind of the idea, is to have both. Without both, what I have is tolerating one for the sake of the other, which is the norm, of course. At the end of the day, I'd prefer WoW over Lotro because WoW is fun to play. You know? Would I set an entire game on the Citadel? Yes. 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 Okay, we're good. Yes. Okay. Now, the question is, what genre would you most want to set a game on the Citadel? Because I can think of several that would slide in there just very smoothly. There's obviously, like, you know, management sim planner kind of a thing. You could have like a choose your own adventure style thing. You could have a basic RPG. You could have a Telltale game. You know, etc., right? Alright, who's ready for it? Who's ready for it?
I've sent off the Pharos report, Commander. You want me to patch you through to the Council?
Patch him through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
Commander, is this some kind of game? Are you calling in a report just so you can cut us
Wait,
off?
no!
Don't piss me off and I won't
God, it was a misclick!
You don't make demands on us, Shepard. Spectres answer to the Council, not the other way around.
Goodbye, Chancellor.
That never gets old, does it?
Oh well.
Never a dull moment with you, Shepard.
You ever go on any missions like ours before?
Saving the galaxy from certain destruction? No. But I've had my share of adventures.
Do you remember any that stick out?
A few. I remember one time I was hired by a Volus diplomat. What an ass.
I guess even politicians have need of mercs from time to time, huh?
Time to time. If it wasn't for politicians, I'd be out of work. They're always looking for ways to get ahead. This one was no different. He wanted me to erase his past. Get rid of an old friend who knew too much. Huh. His old friend turned out to be an Asari commando.
I can see why that might give you pause.
What? No. Alina and I were old friends. Sort of. We met when we were both contracted to kill the same Turian. Neither of us wanted the other one to get him first. We spent more time fighting each other than tracking that Turian.
An Asari Commando mercenary? That's unusual, isn't it?
I wouldn't say it's unusual. Mercs come in all shapes. Anyway, when I told Alina about the diplomat's contract, she and I had a good laugh about it.
So what did you do?
Well, I was going to lose the contract, but I respected Alina. In the end, I let her pick the location where we'd fight. She chose some old Solarian space station overrun with mercs and smugglers. That way we didn't have to worry about hurting any innocent bystanders. She always was a bit of a softie.
What happened on the station?
What didn't happen? For 2 days I chased her through that station, used my entire store of ammunition, had to kill a bunch of mercs and use their crap weapons. By the 3rd day, the station was barely holding together. The mercs were dead or gone, life support was failing, but I had her. She'd locked herself in the med labs. She was trying to patch herself up. Damn tough, that one. Then just when I thought I had her, the station's core went critical. Barely made it back to my ship in time.
I assume the Asari Commando didn't make it?
I watched the station from a distance. I never saw her leave. And when that place blew, there was nothing left larger than a Turian's right nut. So I headed back to the diplomat to give him the good news and collect my pay. But before I got halfway there, Alina sent me a message. Better luck next time. Now, I'm not superstitious, but if someone can survive that, well, they deserve to live. At least for a bit longer.
What about the diplomat? He wanted her dead.
I told him the truth. Alina was still alive and she was really pissed. I told him if he wanted to live, he'd need me around to protect him.
And he believed you.
He kept me on as his personal guard until he died. Natural causes. Easiest job I've ever had. A little boring, but credits are credits.
So long, Wrex.
Shepard.
I was just checking something. I think I've said this before, that for the longest time I always assumed that was Aria. But apparently, Mike Gamble has actually gone on record saying that that's not Aria. Which is a weird thing to do, because that's actually, like, worse. It's like, yeah, no, there's no connections in world building here, it's just some rando. Why do that? Yeah, no, it makes too much sense for it to be Aria. Like, it lines up really neatly. And, I mean, Wrex has been around for a while and is a very high-tier merc. Him rubbing up against Aria makes perfect sense. And, I know, small world syndrome, but I've given my opinion on that before.
I need time to think. We've been focused on the mission. When we're done, it'll be different, I swear. I hope you can wait.
There's some old saw about waiting and good things, isn't there?
You are totally shameless. You need your own line of greeting cards. I'll warn you, though. I'm a Hellcat off the battlefield, too. Sleep tight, Shepard.
Oh, that's terrible.
We are not a mistake.
Is he going to be a problem? We already have enough angry Krogan to deal with.
Interestingly enough, Wrex is correct. The Krogan were not the mistake. The Solarians made the mistake. But that's a topic for another time.
He'll be fine. I'll talk to him.
I'd appreciate that, Commander. My men and I need to rethink our plan of attack. Can you give us some time?
Go ahead, Captain. I'll come back soon.
We won't be long, Commander. In the meantime, if you need any supplies, you can talk to Commander Rentola. He's in one of the tents nearby.
Looks like things are a bit of a mess.
Yeah. I wouldn't be so worried if it wasn't for Wrex. He looks like he's gonna blow a gasket.
You think I should go talk to him?
It wouldn't hurt. Well, it might, actually. Just do it carefully.
Wrex doesn't worry me. He'll fall in line.
If you say so. But I'm gonna keep my eye on him, if it's all the same to you.
So, I've actually never had this happen, and I'm not going to do this time around. But, how many of you have gotten Wrex killed here? Bonus question. How many of you have accidentally gotten Wrex killed here?
This isn't right, Shepard. If there's a cure for the genophage, we can't destroy it.
I understand you're upset, but we both know Saren's the enemy here. He's the one you should be angry with.
Really? Saren created a cure for my people. You want to destroy it. Help me out here, Shepard. The lines between friend and foe are getting a little blurry from where I stand.
This isn't a cure, it's a weapon. And if Saren is allowed to use it, you won't be around to reap the benefits. None of us will.
That's a chance we should be willing to take. This is the fate of my entire people we're talking about. I've been loyal to you so far. Hell, you did more for me than my family ever did. But if I'm going to keep following you, I need to know we're doing it for the right reasons.
Wrex, these Krogan are not your people. They're slaves of Saren. Tools. Is that what you want for them?
No, we were tools for the Council once. To thank us for wiping out the Rachni, they neutered us all. I doubt Saren will be as generous. All right, Shepard. You've made your point. I don't like this, but I trust you enough to follow your lead. Just one thing. When we find Saren, I want his head.
Actually, I kind of agree with you, Hazardous. Not that I could ever kill Wrex. But I do like that it's there. I do like that it's an option. I do like that there's multiple ways to kind of stagger it in your favor to shift it. But what I like best of all is it's probably one of the best bits of characterization for Wrex in the entire game. Hear me out for a second. Wrex is this big, very full of himself. Big ego, wahaha, just stomping everything in the way and doing whatever he can to do it. He's obviously a hell of a badass. He's been around for literally centuries. Yeah, he's kind of a Bowser. That's a good way to put it. He's kind of a Bowser. But what we see here, very, very briefly, is that for all his pomp and circumstance, he really does care. In fact, he cares so much that he can't stop himself from getting so emotionally wound up once the cure is being dangled there, right? Most of you probably know what I mean by that. When you just get, like, there's a specific topic or a specific person or a specific whatever that just gets you so emotionally wound up that you kind of can't deal with it normally. It doesn't work normally. Your brain is just kind of disengaged a bit. You might even be aware of it. You might know it, but it's that weak spot, right? To use not analogy, but another example of this, over in World of Warcraft, or just the Warcraft setting, Malfurion has a weak spot named Illidan Stormrage. Malfurion is yeah, we're actually frozen too. Malfurion is a reasonable, long-term thinker who is all about cooperation and breaking the traditions of his people. And he's a cool guy, except when his brother's involved. And all of that goes out the window. Because it's like that. And you know what that feels like. You probably do, I should say. You probably know what that feels like. And so we get in this moment how important and how severe the genophage is to Wrex and how much it's just that emotional dagger, right? And that is why I like that scene. Because it's a great concept piece for Wrex. It's worth noting that Wrex is probably one of the better, if not the best, written character in Mass Effect 1 in particular, so that helps a little bit. Hoorah.
You all know the mission and what is at stake. I have come to trust each of you with my life, but I have also heard murmurs of discontent. I share your concerns. We are trained for espionage. We would be legends, but the records are sealed. Glory in battle is not our way. Think of our heroes. The silent step who defeated a nation with a single shot. Or the ever-alert who kept armies at bay with hidden facts. These giants do not seem to give us solace here, but they are not all that we are. Before the network, there was the fleet. Before diplomacy, there were soldiers. Our influence stopped the Rachni, but before that, we held the line. Our influence stopped the Krogan, but before that, we held the line. Our influence will stop Saren. In the battle today, we will hold the line. Good luck, Commander. I hope we will meet again.
I completely, unironically love that speech. Make fun if you want to. I don't even care. I love that speech. The actor does some good work with it. I think that's what really sells it. Like, compare and contrast Twitface. What's her name? The politician I hate in Dragon Age Origins. The way that she gives that terrible, terrible speech before the final battle in Dragon Age Origins. God, that's just, if you've never seen that, go do yourself a favor. Go watch that on YouTube. Anora's speech. It's so bad. It's funny too because, you know, the actual kingly type, the actual royalty person does a much better speech in that scene, but that's neither here nor there. Moving on.
Can you help me, or will I be carrying you out of here?
I'll be at your back every step of the way. I just need to get out of here and away from that incessant whispering. They've piped it in for days now.
Something's not right here, Shepard.
Setting him free could endanger the mission.
No. I need to get out. This room is too small and it keeps talking, and I really want to get out of here and get some work done. I need to get out. Let me out.
I can't take that chance.
Can't take that chance. No chance. I need to do what it says. I have to. Let me out. Let me out! Let me out! Let me out!
Good a time as any to mention there's no cure for indoctrination. One of two.
You are not Saren.
What is that? Some kind of VI interface?
Rudimentary creatures of blood and flesh. You touch my mind, fumbling in ignorance, incapable of understanding.
I don't think this is a VI.
There is a realm of existence so far beyond your own, you cannot even imagine it. I am beyond your comprehension. I am sovereign.
Sovereign isn't just some Reaper ship Saren found. It's an actual Reaper.
Reaper, a label created by the Protheans to give voice to their destruction. In the end, what they chose to call us is irrelevant. We simply are.
The Protheans vanished 50,000 years ago. You couldn't have been there. It's impossible.
Organic life is nothing but a genetic mutation. An accident. Your lives are measured in years and decades. You wither and die. We are eternal, the pinnacle of evolution and existence. Before us, you are nothing. Your extinction is inevitable. We are the end of everything.
There is an entire galaxy of races united and ready to face you.
Confidence born of ignorance. The cycle cannot be broken.
Cycle? What cycle?
The pattern has repeated itself more times than you can fathom.
About 300.
Organic civilizations rise, evolve, advance, and at the apex of their glory, they are extinguished. The Protheans were not the first. They did not create the Citadel. They did not forge the mass relays. They merely found them. The legacy of my kind.
What I love about this, BioWare likes this kind of moment too. The big cutscene, right? Where all the reveals happen. I don't mind because they usually do them well. The biggest reveal in this entire sequence isn't the nature of the Reapers, and it isn't any of that. What's really the big thing here is the fact that the mass relays and the Citadel are Reaper tech. If you've been paying attention, and I can't believe I never really noticed this before, but if you're paying attention up until this point, everyone constantly calls them Prothean tech. And it's a constant undercurrent in almost every bit of dialogue discussing the world building. Our technology is based on Prothean technology. Our societies have developed along Prothean lines. We have figured out how to develop our FTL based on Prothean technology that we built out of the relays, etc., etc., etc. The fact that the Reapers lined that all up instead is a huge reveal, and what I love best about it is how understated it is. He just says that, and that's it.
Why would you construct the mass relays, then leave them for someone else to find?
Your civilization is based on the technology of the mass relays. Our technology. By using it, your society develops along the paths we desire.
And this is my answer to you, Evo, by the way.
We impose order on the chaos of organic evolution. You exist because we allow it, and you will end because we demand it.
They're harvesting us, letting us advance to the level they need, then wiping us out.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and jump in here. And it's, god damn it, Evo. Quit it. Don't do that. The why. The idea here, lots of people have said lots of things. I've studied several interviews about this game over the years. Obviously, I've covered this game more than once before. And, in fact, this is technically my 4th time covering this game. But of all the interviews and all the explanations I've heard, from what I understand, they really didn't have a why in Mass Effect 1. They had ideas. There were some concepts that were being tossed around the writer's room. And some of the writers and producers kind of all had vague concepts of why. But they didn't actually have it codified as of Mass Effect 1. They had the Reapers, they had the Cycle, but that was it. And I just wanted to mention that because it makes future things a little bit interesting in context.
What do you want from us? Slaves? Resources?
My kind transcends your very understanding. We are each a nation, independent, free of all weakness. You cannot even grasp the nature of our existence.
Notice he does not answer that.
Where did you come from? Who built you?
We have no beginning. We have no end. We are infinite. Millions of years after your civilization has been eradicated and forgotten, we will endure.
Now, what I love most about that line is even if let's ignore Mass Effect 2, 3, Andromeda, the books, and everything else. Just look at Mass Effect 1 and nothing else, right? In just Mass Effect 1, that line is a lie. Because we kill Sovereign in this game. Spoilers. And I bring that up because that is a necessary component for understanding the type of entity we are talking to. This is not necessarily a Cthulhu-esque eldritch abomination. This is an understandable entity which has something like a capacity for deception. The significance there is a truly Lovecraftian entity does not lie to you. Because it effectively can't. It either doesn't notice you're there, or doesn't care enough to bother. Sovereign, by contrast, is propagandizing this entire conversation. And it's doing a great job of it, honestly. I love this cutscene, I really do. And as was pointed out several times, Sovereign doesn't answer really any of our questions other than the ones that suits its purposes. Which makes sense given that we know with total certainty, again, even ignoring all future content, even just in Mass Effect 1, we know the Reapers are very manipulative. We already have the puzzle pieces of the Rachni and how that got going. And of course, we also know, small spoilers for a future thing, that this cycle was supposed to start, what was it, like 1,000 years ago or something like that? And it didn't, because of the last efforts of the Protheans. So, we know that they are manipulative, and we know that they're more than capable of that kind of deception, thanks to that, thanks to what the movements with the Rachni, thanks to the Rachni, and just all the other crap that's been happening ever since then. So.
Where are the rest of the Reapers? Are you the last of your kind?
We are Legion. The time of our return is coming. Our numbers will darken the sky of every world. You cannot escape.
All 300 of them.
You're not even alive. Not really. You're just a machine.
That's machinist.
And machines can be broken.
I hate that line.
Your words are as empty as your future. I am the vanguard of your destruction. This exchange is over.
No, Arcus. Not at all.
Commander, we got trouble.
Hit me, Joker.
That ship's Sovereign? It's moving. I don't know what you did down there, but that thing just pulled a turn that would shear any of our ships in half. It's coming your way, and it's coming hard. You need to wrap things up in there fast.
This console is shot. Orders, Commander?
Let's head to the breeding facility. Joker can pick us up after we set the nuke.
Oh my god, he's still got the dumb outfit on. Hang on. Surely I have something better than that. Oh, thank God. Wait. Perfect! Behold!
How could we just leave her down there?
Williams knew the risks going in. She gave her life to save the rest of us.
But why me? Why not her?
Well, because I've never spared your pathetic life before.
It wasn't your call, Mako. I had to choose. Sovereign's a Reaper. Saren admitted it.
He's playing you, Shepard. Saren still has contacts on the Citadel. He probably saw your earlier reports. The ones talking about your vision and the Reapers.
It's highly possible Saren is using false information to throw you off balance. Our own intelligence has never turned up any corroborating information.
Well...
Oh, looks like we lost the signal, Joker.
Understood, Commander.
Look, I tried to warn them, okay? I actually made the effort to warn them, alright? But Lord Harrimont earlier asked, if there was an option to save both of them, would that diminish the game? Would that make the game worse? I am once again going to just let that question sit there for anybody to answer if they want to, before I give my opinion.
Hey, Shepard.
Commander, I've been waiting for you to get back. I've got an idea, and I wanted to run it by you.
I've got a lot going on right now, but I can spare a moment.
Great! This'll just take a minute. With so many human colonies being attacked, I'm not sure that one Spectre is enough. What if you signed me on as another Spectre?
Conrad, I haven't been shot in the head nearly enough times to make that seem like a good idea.
Joke if you want, but there were people who didn't believe in you, and you worked out, right? I want to be with you, fighting the good fight like you did on Elysium during the Skillian Blitz.
This is what the Blitz felt like, Conrad. You like it?
What? No, please. Please don't hurt me. Why are you doing this?
Because you're not a soldier, Conrad. You can't handle this. Go home.
I thought you were a hero. Heroes don't do things like this. I wish I'd never met you.
We had to shove the gun in there for something in Mass Effect 2. But even ignoring that, he needed the shock to the system. legitimately. I actually don't dislike Conrad all that much. Not really. The problem was... I mean, do I even need to explain the problem here? The problem's everything. So,
Anderson, what are you doing here? I didn't send...
just right up to him. And Udina's just like, what? What are you doing here? Now, how many landing zones do you think we could find here?
Commander? We've got company.
Have their sensors picked us up yet?
Well, stealth systems are engaged. Unless we get close enough for a visual, they won't have any idea we're here.
Picking up some strange readings from the planet's surface.
Take us down, Joker. Lock in on the coordinates.
Negative on that, Commander. The nearest landing zone's 2 clicks away.
We'll never make it in time on foot. Get us something closer.
There is nowhere closer. I've looked.
Drop us in the Mako.
You need at least 100 meters of open terrain to pull off a drop like that. The most I can find near Saren is 20.
20 meters? We'll never get in close enough for a drop.
We have to try.
Find another landing zone.
There is no other landing zone!
The descent angle's too steep.
It's our only option.
It's not an option. It's a suicide run. We don't...
I can do it.
Joker?
I can do it.
Gear up and head down to the Mako. Joker, drop us right on top of that bastard.
Yeah, I do like Joker getting his participation there. It's a nice little touch. And he is a damn good pilot, so here we are. I can actually answer Evo's question from earlier. Who would I pick, Garrus or Tali? The answer is, I don't care. So, this is kind of hard to explain properly, but it boils down to, if you have a situation in which you are forced to make a bad choice like that, then it's just kind of, who cares? It's a coin flip, right? It doesn't matter which one you pick, because both options are wrong and both options are bad. Now, you might say, well, that's the whole point of a difficult choice, but honestly, from a video game design perspective, I would argue that there actually is no choice there, which is indeed much of the problem. Let me relate this to Tor briefly. Over in Tor Vanilla, we had no choice whatsoever with regards to our compatriots. They were in the party, period. Nothing you can do about it. We're here for a second. And arguably that's kind of the problem. The lack of choice is the issue. So, let's say that, let's go back to Tor for a moment. Let's assume for a second that you had the option. Let's assume you had the option to kill off a party member in Tor. Like, say, in Dragon Age Origins. Or not even necessarily kill off, just get out of the party, right? Okay, that's cool. Now imagine if it was mandatory. Imagine if you get to Act 2 and all of a sudden they're like, you must choose! One of these party members must die! Sorry, I'm saying it negatively, but you get my point. What if it was mandated? Because at that point, it stops really being a choice. At least in the concept of gameplay design. Instead, it's more like, pick your poison. You know, which particular branch of dialogue would you like to happen? Where in the world is this guy? This problem last time, too. So if you forced me to pick between Garrus and Tali, I'd flip a coin. Because I'm so de-invested from the choice based on the factors I just mentioned, that there's no choice to be made. Now, this is tying into Lord Harriman's question. If there was a third option, if there was a way to fix it, would that diminish the game? And honestly, I don't think it would. Now, we should probably mention something here. Let's just be 100% honest with ourselves. Yeah, I like this. The choice between Kaidan and Ashley is not a good choice. Now, I could argue that in several directions, but the overall point here is that you have made two characters, neither of which is particularly that great or beloved, and you say, pick between one of them. It's like, okay. And half the people I know automatically pick Ashley because they hate her, and the other half automatically pick Kaidan because they hate him. It's not a choice. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really a well-constructed choice. You forced me to pick between Garrus and Wrex. I'm gonna have to sit and think about that for a minute. You forced me to pick between Kaidan and Ashley? I have never put thought into that because it's never been necessary. Yeah, there's also the fact that it's not very well presented. There are good choices like that in these games. Ironically, Mass Effect 3 is one of them. I'm not going to spoil it. But there's a specific choice in Mass Effect 3 which is surprisingly well constructed. Which is good. And it's like, holy crap. This is not one of them. Yes, exactly, Von Falkenstein. That's exactly my point. Do you know how many people I know who automatically kill Kaidan because he irritates them? Because they don't like him as a character? You're watching Star Wars Episode 1, and it's this brand new super mega 3D version where you can choose how the movie progresses. And all of a sudden you're given a choice. Kill off Qui-Gon Jinn or Jar Jar Binks. You get my point here? Now, yes, I know Kaidan supposedly, haven't seen it yet, supposedly gets to be a better character later, and that is indeed one of the reasons I do this. But you get my point, right? And the best part is, because of how they designed both Ashley and Kaidan, that works in both directions. Some people really dislike Kaidan, and some people really dislike Ashley.
Cannot be stopped. Cannot be stopped.
And not be beaten conventionally, I think is what that one just said. I'm asking TSP, and your objective is to not get shot in the head. I like Hazardous' answer. Go to the Reapers. Croatia!
Evacuation.
Remember that? I like this. The fact that that's an actual functional relay. That's a nice touch. Or Croatia. That's the last time we're going to use the Mako, so I think we could all take a moment.
Critical failure was detected across all monitored systems.
It's a corridor with some good visuals. Like, I do like the visuals of walking on the outside of Citadel Tower. That's pretty cool. Gameplay-wise, it's a corridor with the same enemies we've been fighting since the second planet. No, that's Neverwinter Nights 2. Neverwinter Nights 1's final encounter and boss is a cave, I kid you not, with some random enemies, which have a bunch of stats, and then a boss. Which is, yeah. Yeah, the fact that we're slowly approaching on Sovereign, that's pretty cool. But ultimately, this is probably going to be a gameplay negative, story positive situation. There was our Marauder shields of this game. Literally just basic Geth troopers. Come on, game, really. What is this, Mass Effect 3?
I've still got a few tricks up my sleeve.
You survived our encounter on Vermeer, but I've changed since then. Improved. Sovereign has upgraded me.
You can tell because I don't look different at all. And there it is. Pose here. Damn you, Croatia. You let us down. That's not true at all, actually. Mako, now redubbed the Croatia, carried us through quite a bit. Yet the indoctrination's getting to me. You know, I mean, would it really be that bad if we just served the Reapers? Think about it. It leaves us with a net plus 37 to story. Which, if we're being honest, by the way, is huge. That also leaves us with a net negative 13 to gameplay. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. That is a story ratio of 72%, which is pretty damn good. Gameplay ratio of 39%, which is not as good. Could I get a drum roll, please? Yeah, no, that sounds about right. I'm gonna get flamed alive for this, though. Final score, golden number, for Mass Effect 1 is almost exactly what I was expecting. It is 51.6. That is about exactly what I was expecting. I didn't think it was going to break the 80 range, but I thought it was going to be above the 40 range, and I was right. I'm just glad I don't have to do a third rumination on this game. Could you imagine? And here's the final score. Oh my god! In fact, you really want to think about how much people would dislike me for this? Check this out. Cyberpunk's golden number was 104.6. Final thoughts before I chop off, and then we'll start Mass Effect 2 Monday. The reason that score doesn't surprise me is everything I've already talked about. This is an ambitious game made by people who were trying something that was ultimately new to them at the time. They were trying to branch out into a different genre and really stake their claim on their own IP. August 29th. Or no, it isn't. I have no idea. I'd have to look it up. And they were trying, and they pushed out some great ideas and some terrible ideas. Some awful ideas. But nevertheless, it's understandable why Mass Effect took off the way it did. For the same reason most first games take off. Because regardless of the quality of the game, which almost doesn't matter, it's the uniqueness of it, the presentation of it, and the parts of it that stick with you. And as we talked about earlier, both today and yesterday, most people in my experience tend to care a little bit more about the story than the gameplay. And, well, there you go. There's Mass Effect 1 in a nutshell. More story than gameplay.